What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another week of the Final Points. I'm your host, Dom Cintorino, joined as always by Matt Gannon. Matt, what's going on?
Rocket Week, 2 more regular season events. Coming off of a good week last week, obviously shipped that GPP. I know you had a good week as well.
Yes.
So the vibes are high, ready to close out the season strong. We got off to a good start with that last week, so we got to keep that rolling.
Both of our cores were about as good as it gets, honestly. I mean, the 10K range, even as small as it was, we both faded Hideki, worked out in our favor. Heavy Finau, I had a little bit of him. I know you didn't have much, but at the end of the day, if you had a lot of Finau, it didn't even matter. So all around great core.
Great week, yeah. Hopefully we could. I have another tight core this week, so hopefully we get those guys up top right. And it's more spread out down the bottom, but up top, I'm super tight, just like I was last week. So ready to get into it.
All right. Looking at the Rocket Mortgage Classic last year, I tend to pull the pricing and kind of compare it. Cam Davis won last year at 7,200. Was in a playoff with Neiman and Merritt. Neiman was at $9,800. Merritt $71. The rest of the guys who finished T8 or better was a mix between like 6,100 to 92 with a lot of 7K guys. So I think my strategy this week is to hammer the top and then find my value at the lower 7, upper 6. There's a couple guys in the low 6 that I like, but I don't know if you really have to get there. Last year, there were 5 guys in the 10K plus range. Matsuyama withdrew. He was one of the 5. Bryson at 11.4 missed the cut on his title defense. Patrick Reed was 10.9, was T32. Webb missed the cut, and then Zalatoris was 77th, dead last of everybody who made the cut. So 10K range definitely did not show out last year. Not sure that's going to be the case this year, but worth looking at. In terms of the course, what are you looking at this week?
Hopefully you can drive your ball long. We've seen guys who weren't that more plotters, the Kisner types, get into the mix and have really good success. But this is the one spot where you can really kind of throw out driving accuracy. I wouldn't say throw it out. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like I'm not looking at driving accuracy at all. So I'm going with bombers who can wedge it close. Literally a Cam Davis type build, someone who can put it out there and put their wedges close and can have. I'm looking at putting a lot too. Have spike putting like I talked about last week.
Yep, and you're always looking for spike putting weeks in a birdie fest. Like we've said in the past, you don't need to do it week in and week out, but you have to show that you can lead a field in strokes gained putting and have that type of upside week because that's all it takes. I mean, the score is going to be. I mean, if you had to guess right now, what would you say?
23.
I was going to say low 20s. I think that's fair. I don't know we get to what we saw with Lashley, but I wouldn't be surprised really if somebody got to 25.
Actually, I'll say 21. That should be our side bet this week, the winning score.
Okay. That's fair. I think I won ever since we stopped keeping track, I've been on a heater.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait till next year when we get the money in it.
I know. I'm going to be down like $5,000.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, for me, same thing. Par 5 scoring off the tee.
Yes, for sure.
Weighing driving distance a little bit heavier. What else did I have in there? Birdies. Looking for guys who are making birdies at a high rate, as always, when we get an event like this. And then guys who just play easy course as well. So simple as it gets. We've seen the winning score be 18 to 25. We know it's going to be between that. Like I'm very confident it's going to be between that. The weather looks fine. I think it's going to be all systems go here, and we're going to see a low score. So let's jump right into the pricing. 10K plus, 4 guys: Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau, Will Zalatoris, and Cam Young. I'm on the bottom 2.
Okay.
Heavier on Cam Young. I know it's chalky, and I get that people are going to be on him, but I feel like he can take the same angle that we saw Bryson take in 2020, where there's a path where you're just strong off the tee and on the greens. Like Bryson lost a half a stroke on approach, and Young's approach has been a little bit spotty. So I'm not all that concerned with it. the distance clearly is going to help him here. When you're looking at off the tee stats, he's far and above everybody in this field. It's a little bit weaker, but honestly, I said it to Sam last night. I feel like this is the weakest event / field that Cam Young's played this year.
Yeah, that might be true. Could it be Amex?
Take a look at his schedule. Like Sony, some of the early ones, but even Sony wasn't all that bad.
Well, yes. I mean, since he's became elite, I would say, or not what he's became now, this is definitely the lowest event he's played in for sure.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So I like the price tag too at 10-1. Ownership wise, I have not pulled yet. I should probably do that before we get rolling, but I'm in.
So, okay. You're on the bottom two guys. I am on the top guy exclusively. And that's Patrick Cantlay. I'm going 100% Cantlay like I did with 100% Finau last week. If Cantlay wins, I kind of will be upset because I was about to have a 3-man betting card instead of having a 15-man betting card. And
you have a 15-man?
15-man starts at 40-1, goes all the way down to 500-1. Like absolute jabroni bombs is what I went with, like bombs. So I love Cantlay DFS. He is a lot longer than people think. He gains about 5% on the entire field in distance. And with his wedges and irons, just about average. He never really is a crazy – probably the best iron play was this time of the year last year for Cantlay. He hasn't gotten to that point yet. It could definitely happen. But it's more the driving distance and the putter. Because we know when he gets going with the putter, he's the best putter in the world, some would say.
Yep.
And, I mean, by no means are his irons and wedges bad. They're just not like a Russell Henley type, Justin Thomas type, where he's just going to just go crazy. But he's going to give himself plenty of 20 feet looks, probably on every hole. And if that putter heats up, he can go lights out. Just don't expect him to put everything to 4 feet like some guys do. Appreciate you, Sons of Dynasty.
Appreciate it. Fantasy points is the best. That is certified.
So yeah, I'm all the way PC. Cam Young rates out well for me. Rates out well. There's no way around it. It's the ownership thing, and what I've been doing with the chalky Cam Young. I've been fading it every single time.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna. It's worked out for me in the past. Yeah, it's worked out for me. So
but Matt, keep doing I have been fading it with you,
and it's been working.
It has, and I just.
No, this of course makes a lot of sense.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah.
And like a first-time winner here makes a lot of sense too. I've been saying it all week. It just feels like a spot. And that's why I'm kind of pulling towards Willie Z. And we say that we don't love him in a birdie fest. That's why I'm leaning Cam Young over Will. But at the same time, it's like I just have this funny feeling that it's going to be Zalatoris or Young's first win. Like it's the Rocket Mortgage Classic. It's a weak field. They're here for a reason. Like
no, yeah. I looked
what
at
they've shown throughout the season alone is enough for me to. I mean, I think I'm going to start a lot of lineups with Zalatoris and Young.
I was 60% Cantlay, 40% Zal, but then I didn't think Zal was going to be 24% owned, which is what I'm seeing right now. So I got off of it and just went 100% Cantlay, ate the chalk. They're around similar ownership. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I really do like Zal for like all the ball striking regions. He's amazing with his wedges. Like he's a guy who will give himself 4 foot every hole, but he might not make all of them. Right. But I do love his mentality. In his presser today, they asked him, his atmosphere tends to be a little different, not like a major. You know how you always step up to these majors. He said they asked if he enjoys being here, if it's just or if it's just a regular golf tournament. He said he loves the pressure. He's been pretty vocal in the fact that my career is to win a major, but every single time I tee it up, I want to be as sharp as I can, and I want to win every single event. So he's there to get his first win. He's here to play. He's my favorite golfer in the world. I hope he does it. I'm just not going to be a part of it if he does, which would hurt my soul a little bit, but I do like Zalatoris as well.
Yeah, and I get the ownerships there with Zal. I get it's there with Young. But putting the two together, you're already getting different because the next 4 in, people are going to have different approaches. If they like a guy in the 8s, then they're going to be diving for guys in the 6. You can take these two guys at 10-4 and 10-1 and build through the 7s, which, like I said, last year, a lot of the 7s were inside the top 10.
Yep.
And there's a lot of guys in the 7s who are coming at a value, who are pushing to get into this FedEx Cup playoff. So I don't mind starting with 2 guys up here. I usually don't advise it, but I think this is a week where it's viable.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely if it wasn't for that 24% on Zal, I would have had two guys up here. I do really like them. I go PC, Zal, my top two favorite. We didn't talk about Finau at all, but the course fit makes a lot of sense for Tony Finau too. He's a guy who can play well after a win as well. Obviously, coming off that win.
Yeah.
He's going to be the lowest owned guy in this range, sub 20%. Which, but it's a kind of an expensive price. I'd way rather go to a Patrick Cantlay for $100 more than Tony Finau.
It's funny that the only reason he is going to be the lowest owned is because he won 4 days ago.
Exactly.
It's just the world we live in. Rates out as good as all these guys. And I don't even think the price is unfair because I've been riding Finau for a couple weeks. Finally hit the win. It paid off. I mean, we had a missed cut in there. I think the U.S. Open and Open Championship was so. Kind of got through those, and then he got his win. So we're chasing it. Same as Grillo. We've been riding him for quite a while. We were both on him last week. Had entered the week with a missed cut and was right in the thing. I had a large outright on Grillo, by the way.
Did you have Grillo outright?
Yeah, that was my biggest bet.
Yeah, he's obviously I told you he's blacklisted for me this season, but
yeah,
I think he's done enough to get off that blacklist. Well, the blacklist
I would agree.
The blacklist resets after each season anyway. So I mean, either way, he's gonna be. I'll probably bet him this season. I bet him the first 3 weeks of the season. I was like, what am I doing with my life betting Grillo week 1, 2, and 3? And he missed 3 straight cuts or something stupid like that. So blacklist, but I'm ready to go back to Grillo next season, week 1, whatever Sanderson it is.
Have to. All right, 9K?
9K.
All right, another fairly little range. Max Homa, Cam Davis, last year's champion, Adam Scott, Keegan Bradley, and Kevin Kisner. Full fade for me.
Full fade. Really? Fade. Okay, well you're on 2 guys up top. I'm on 2 guys in this range, and that's Max Homa and Adam Scott. Max Homa rated out really well for me. I originally bet him at 27-1, but then I cashed that out for reasons because he was a little bit popular. I don't think we're going to get a really popular winner in a birdie fest, very volatile event. So I let Twitter make that decision for me. If it bites me, it bites me. But I do love his course fit. It makes a lot of sense. He was here. I think he finished 25th here last year, but he was contending on either late Friday or early Saturday and had a bad break. But he's a much better golfer at this point than he is last year. He's well long enough. He's well-rounded with his irons, and he is a good putter. He's shown that he can get super low. He at the Ford net, he won at a course that I think is very, very similar to this one. Yeah. So I think Max Homa, I wouldn't have been surprised at all if he was 10-1. So I love him at 9-9. He is in 60% of my lineups, and so I'm rocking Homa. So you're a full fade? Completely?
Full fade. I did like Homa a lot early in the week. I've slowly pushed myself away from him just because I do want to have more exposure to the Zal Young combination. And then if I have one of those 2 guys, there's a ton of guys in the 8s that I like.
Okay, yeah. So with Adam Scott, I did not think I was going to – he's the one – I started my betting card with Adam Scott at 40-1. A great number, and on a guy who's having a sneaky good season.
He is. He just doesn't play enough for people to realize, fully realize.
4th at the Genesis, 9th at the match play, 14th at the U.S. Open, 15th at the Open Championship. He's great form. We know what he does off the tee. He still bombs the ball, and he is a sneaky good wedger. He's in the top 100 of all the key bucket ranges, and he's a gainer with his putter this year. He's gotten better with the flat stick, similar to Louis Oosthuizen in later stages of his career. I don't know if he's got to the Louis level yet, where Louis just led the tour in putting, but Adam Scott was used to be a bad putter. Now he's a good putter with the new funky one he's got. So I don't know if he can make that many birdies, but we saw what he did last year at the Wyndham at this time of year. He was right there, should have won that event. He booted that putt, but so maybe this is time for Max Homa to Adam Scott to take.
Speaking of Scott's birdies, last 3 months, ranks 15th, birdie or better.
Yeah, he is a birdie maker for sure at this point.
I don't love the price, but I always love Adam Scott.
I like the ownership too. It's not
that's the price is giving us that 10%. I think No, I don't think it could be sub 10%. I feel like enough people are talking about him to get him to like as high as 12.
How do you feel about defending champ Cam Davis? Because I think he is in a great spot.
I think he's in a great spot. He's just grossly overpriced.
Yeah, 9.7 is not.
He really
what
is.
kinda want
I mean,
Cam Davis.
you get $200 more to get Max Homa, or
Right.
$400 to get to Cam Young. Like last year, he was 7-2 for a reason, and it's not like Davis has shown us all that much this year.
But
I mean, he's fine.
I don't have any Cam Davis, but I kind of want it, but the price is just bad. And what the thing is with Davis that I've said the past few weeks is he just makes so many birdies, so talented, but he'll make that triple bogey. He'll have that 2-hole stretch where he'll go bogey double because he just gets himself into trouble. But there's not much trouble to be had around here.
Right.
So that's why, it's why he won. He said in his presser, you mentioned your game is, they said you mentioned your game is in a different place this year as it was to last year. How would you assess that? He said, last year I came in off 3 straight cuts, took 2 weeks off, and didn't swing a golf club. Now I'm coming in good form. I think I'm hitting the ball further than I ever had before, and I love this golf course, and I'm ready to do it again, basically. So he seems confident and ready to go. I mean, it's 9.7 tough. I'm going with Homa instead, but I
feel like you have to
because the ownership's not even horrible on Homa, which I thought it would be.
No, it's not, and I think the price is fair. Like you said, he could be 10, he could be 10-1, and we're talking a couple $100. But I still feel like Homa should be in the 10K range here. So
I agree.
Kisner Bradley out. Kisner, I think, way overpriced. Like he's been hovering right around that 7K range for like 7K flat for quite a while. Keegan 9K just doesn't do it for me either.
I was so close to getting into Keegan, and 6% was what made me really close to get it.
Yep.
2 straight missed cuts off at the Genesis in the Open. Literally does nothing. I don't care about that at all. That was links, whatever. But he's so good with his wedges and those short irons. And this is one of the first seasons in his entire career that he's a net gainer with the putter. I was choosing between 35-1 Adam Scott. 35-1 Keegan Bradley or 40-1 Adam Scott. Adam Scott just was a little bit better with the wedges, so I went with him. But it was close. It was close. I do like Keegan as well, especially at 9.2. At that 6% ownership.
Was T14 last year and led the field in tee to green,
and lost 5 strokes putting.
Yes, which is kind of goes hand in hand with rostering Keegan Bradley.
Right,
just not that bad.
So sadly, I won't be getting to him. Hopefully, he doesn't bite me. It's just going to be Homa and Adam Scott for me.
All right, move on to the 8K.
Okay.
Pretty loaded range here, and like I said, I am on a fair amount of these guys.
I like how we're different. I'm only on one guy in this range. Just
here's my 4.
We've been different in each range. All right, let's go.
Davis Riley, Cam Tringale, Webb Simpson, Russell Henley.
Webb Simpson. I'm shocked at that Webb Simpson call.
The Riley Tringale thing, I kind of like the miscut last week because so many people got burned by those 2 guys.
Yep. Tringale right here.
The ownership showing it. Tringale is going to be sub 10. I'm showing Davis Riley. What?
I'm saying 16.
Yeah.
Which is
13 to 16.
He's a name though that guys love clicking.
They do, but I don't know.
He definitely could have been more. He definitely could have been more.
Yeah, I feel like off a miscut. I hope more people are off of him.
No, I agree, but I wouldn't have been surprised if the projection coming to this week was 12. I wouldn't be surprised if it was higher because people love him. So
and you're getting a discount off of the missed cut.
Exactly.
But for Davis Riley, for me, it's the same reason that everyone has been playing him before the last couple months. Second in the field in birdie or better, top 5 in both tee to green and approach, top 10 off the tee. And he ranks second in the field in these shorter par 4s, which there's going to be scoring on him. And he's obviously making birdies, so does it there. Top 10 in par 5 scoring in the last 3 months, just does everything across the board. I really like the price. Like, I can't believe he's below Keegan and Kisner, if I'm being honest. So, taking the discount there. Tringale, I don't know. You're the Tringale whisperer. I should really just ask you.
I say great DraftKings play. I say he finishes T22.
I'll take it.
Yeah, he just can't make enough birdies to contend. That's my take on it. I don't think he can make enough birdies.
That's fair.
And he's good. But this course, I wish this course had like mega long rough and was like this course U.S. Open setup. Tringale wins. Tringale literally wins this event if a U.S. Open was hosted here.
Yeah, and looking at the miscut last week, I mean, gained the most strokes from tee to green of anyone who missed the cut.
Yeah,
down week with the putter, lost a lot,
which
of
is
strokes.
fine. And the same thing with Riley. Like he missed the cut on the number was not concerning. It was not a concerning miscut at all. It was about field average in every single statistic. Just a little bit of a down week on his standards. But he's been going crazy on approach, like +6, +7. Like that was like a Morikawa-esque run, like 4 straight weeks +6 on approach. He has those flashy weeks where he gains 5 off the tee. He's gained 10 strokes putting before, like multiple times.
Yeah.
I love Davis Riley, and I bet him once before, and that was at Mexico, and he got me that T5. So hopefully he could do that again for me. But that's all I'm going to in this range. Davis Riley 8.6. I was on Matt McNeely at 8.8, but I took him off because of ownership. But I do love Matt McNeely's build for this event, a driver and putter heavy build. So
yeah,
I do like Matt McNeely, but I'm only getting to Davis Riley.
Fair enough. Webb Simpson for me. I don't know.
Let's hear this. Yeah. Let's hear this.
I feel like I've been on Webb Simpson quite a bit, but I really like this price. Easy scoring events the last 2 seasons, ranks inside the top 12. Donald Ross the last 3 seasons, he's 13th overall in total strokes gained. And then even you look at like the last 12 rounds, he's been pretty solid. He plays well on these shorter par 4s. I think there is a path to do what Webb Simpson does best and just kind of putt his way through an event, hit close approaches, top 20 in the past 12 rounds in tee to green and approach. I just really enjoy the number at $8,300. So I will have exposure to Webb. I have a lot more exposure, however, to Russell Henley. It's been over 2 months since he's played an event that wasn't a major.
I think he was hurt, but I think he's all right now if he's playing.
Right. And I think back-to-back miscuts at the majors. I prefer him at easier events anyways. Only top 10 of the year, surprisingly, is the Sony, where I had his outright ticket collapse on the back. Like, I got home when he was making the turn and didn't even turn it on until the playoff because it was over.
That took about, let's say, 3 years off my life.
Yeah.
That back nine. That was that Hideki 3-wood on the playoff or whatever, the 18th hole, whatever it was. No, it was the playoff. They put the 3-foot.
Yes.
I like
dagger.
That hurt, to say the least. Hurt.
Yeah. But speaking of easy scoring courses, I mean, he was 23 under at the Sony. That's exactly where we kind of imagine this is going to be. Last 2 seasons, ranks 4th on these easier scoring courses, and 8,200 for a guy like Russell Henley. I like that as well. So tried to get to Woodland. Couldn't. Same with Hubbard. I just don't love the rest of the guys in this range. I mean, 4 is plenty. If I had to rank those 4 and the amount I will have them, it's Henley 1, Riley 2, Webb 3, Tringale 4.
I hope we see a week from. Did you bet Henley outright?
I have not yet.
Okay, if you don't, I hope he doesn't win. But I hope we get a week where he gains like 7 strokes ball striking and loses like 3 on the green, so he can win Wyndham next week.
That's fair.
I need to see some flash because we haven't seen it in a while. So I mean, he is lighting up approach this year, and like by a long shot. So
yeah,
I hope that stays because I love him next week. to channel those Wyndham demons that he had last year.
Ready to get into the sevens?
Yep.
All right. Massive range. And like I said at the top of the show, I think this is where you can do a lot of damage. I think there's a ton of great value down here. The highest I'm getting is Taylor Pendrith.
Okay.
At 75. Sorry, that's not the highest I'm getting. Troy Merritt, 76. So the thing with Merritt, I don't know if you heard what I said with Sam. I did it in my FanDuel article. I've just kind of been saying it the whole week on repeat here. But last week at the 3M, T49 led the field off the tee and hit over 85% of fairways, leading the field there as well.
That is insane.
Strong track record at the Rocket Mortgage T2, T8 the last 2 years. Gained over 5 strokes putting in both of them. And he had his career worst week on the greens last week, losing 5.6. So getting back onto greens where he's had success, gaining 5+ and back-to-back top 10 finishes. I like Merritt at 7,600. I bet him on DraftKings right when prices dropped. And then Bet Rivers posted a better one, so I just doubled that with the each way.
Yeah, I definitely like that Merritt call. He was almost.
I got him at 80.
Okay, yeah, it's a great number. That is a great number. Yeah, Merritt was here last year in the playoff. Obviously, I thought he was the one that was going to rip my heart out from my Neiman bet. 72 holes, bogey free, only to lose in the playoff, of course. But it was Cam Davis, and because when Merritt made that ace last year on, I think it was Saturday, I was like, oh, this is just all collapsing. But yeah, great course history. Him gaining 5 strokes off the tee, leading the field off the tee is actually like, if I wouldn't believe that as you told me. Like I thought it would be a joke. He actually did that. Any event. Troy Merritt is not leading off the tee. So I mean, that's a great sign heading into a course that he's had great success.
I had to double check it, but that was his best off the tee performance of his career by a lot. The most he gained prior to that was API in 2020, and he gained 4. So a stroke and a half more from his previous high.
That is insane. So yeah,
is he using steroids?
He might. We're gonna have to test him.
And just can't putt. He's just too jacked and just can't hold his putter anymore.
Maybe
then we're screwed.
Then we're screwed. Well, you are, not me.
Yes.
Because where I started my 7K is with Chris Kirk at 7.8, I believe.
Yep.
7.8. Chris Kirk coming off of 2 appearances here, 12th and a 21st. So he's got great vibes at Detroit Golf Club. And I was unaware of how elite he is from in all of these wedge buckets from 50 to 150. He is so good in all of those 25 to 50 yard increments. He is plenty long enough. He is 86th on tour and driving distance, over 300 yards average. And the putting is a little bit of a fluke, but I like him heading to a course where he's gained putting twice, 2 strokes and 3 strokes in his 2 appearances here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 straight made cuts. The approach has been a little bit shaky, but those are at the Scottish Open, the Open Championship, and the Memorial, all courses where you're not really hitting too many wedges wedges into normal greens that we're used to here. So we're heading to a very straightforward golf course that suits Chris Kirk's eye clearly. I bet Chris Kirk at 55 to 1, and he is my first play in the 7K range.
So let me run one guy by you. Ready? Hang on.
Let's hear him.
The 8th highest projected DraftKings golfer on fantasy points projections is Matt Kuchar. Thoughts?
He's going to be in the fairway. He's going to make a lot of birdies. But
he's going to be in the fairway, and he absolutely destroys these short par 4s. He has been extremely consistent, honestly.
Yeah.
Hasn't missed a cut since the middle of March.
Players when he was on the you can throw that out. He's on the wrong side of the draw. So Phoenix Open. Yeah,
we know he can have his upside putter week. Obviously,
has he played here before? I don't think he has.
I don't believe he has. Which
is whatever. Which doesn't do anything. So you're playing Kuchar?
Debating.
Dude, he's gonna be at 13%. I could not do that. I just can't.
You think he's going to be there?
I mean, probably not. But that's what I'm seeing, projections wise. I can't do the Kuchar thing. It's a
I'm
decent
seeing
price,
sub
7.5. All right, I'd agree. I mean, I'm seeing him and Pendrith have the same ownership.
I will have a small amount of Kuchar. I was just really running it by you more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know what you're gonna get. It's just like
just because I have more guys at the $7,500 range is very nice.
I love Kuchar in like showdown round 1. That's where I'd play him.
First round leader, Matt Kuchar.
Yeah, like literally, yeah. Like I think he could be the first round leader. We might have to play that because he's the guy who would be first round leader.
All right, you just spoke it into existence, so we kind of have to. But speaking of Taylor Pendrith, you're on.
No, I am not. Are you?
I absolutely am. I think the rib injury is far behind him. Held him out for almost 4 months. Was on him at the John Deere Classic, then withdrew with an illness. Finally made his return at Barbasol, where he finished T13, second off the tee, third in driving distance, which we know that's what he does best. Was averaging over 311 yards. And then went on to finish T11 at Barracuda the very next week. I know those are two very weak fields, but like I had Pendrith ranked ahead of Cam Young in my season rankings back in January, and I felt good about it. Like I really liked what I saw from Pendrith last year when he played his events on the PGA Tour and taking the distance perspective. That's what I'm going with here.
Yeah, I mean Taylor Pendrith makes a lot of sense. He checks a lot of boxes.
Win. He's so much better than people realize, unless I'm just like blind to the fact of how good he is. I really like Pendrith's game.
No, he's elite, and he checks all the boxes. The only reason I'm not getting to him is ownership reasons, but Pendrith does make a lot of sense. I'll be fading that ownership. I went with old pal Chris Gotterup. Last week we were
great price betting and DFS.
Yep, last week we were on him. I mean, we weren't on him. You thought I was going to be. He was crazy ownership, and he made the cut on the number. And I was really hoping he missed the cut. But at the same time, like we kind of got that discount I was looking for because I was like, miscut last week. We're gonna be all over him this week. But we got the break we wanted to, and he still had a decent turnout last week.
Yeah, he did.
So what Chris Gotterup is an absolute bomber of the golf ball, and he is elite inside of 150 yards. So what he is, we've seen him get to 20 under before in college in Puerto Rico. He did it twice. So Chris Gotterup can go low. He's not scared to. I think people are kind of the shine's starting to wear off a little bit because he hasn't had another one of those finishes like he had. Where was it? At the John Deere where he was like in the top 5. He's kind of been a little bit downhill since there, but not horrible. So I've been eyeing this spot up for a few weeks for Gotterup. I know I said that to you a few weeks ago. I said Rocket, Chris Gotterup, play him. So I am on Chris Gotterup. I bet him at 100-1. He's in 40% of my lineups. Team are up to the moon.
With 2 weeks to play, let me just double check where him and Ju Young Kim are. I'm not calling him Tom Kim either, ever. I don't like it.
Don't like it.
So I mentioned on the show, I think last week when I was on Kim, that they have to have, as non-members, as many points as the 125th ranked guy. Right now, that's Webb Simpson at 343. Kim has 327. Gotterup is at, where's Gotterup? Oh, 177. So it's more Kim than Gotterup. But something to look at. Kim's right on Webb at the 125. Then he wouldn't have to do the Corn Ferry Tour graduate, anything like that. He would just have his card at 20 years old. So I'm not on Kim. No reason. No,
I'm not either. He hasn't gotten to like me yet with the whole build, the whole everything with Tom Kim. He's not popping for me stat wise yet. Great player though. Hopefully we'll get there soon, but not yet for me.
Next, going down a little bit, I'm on Ricky again.
Let's hear it.
Mr. Rocket Mortgage himself. I mean, do I have to go further than that?
Narrative season?
No, but I did like what I saw last week at the 3M.
Yeah.
T38, fourth in the field in ball striking. 3 for 3 in his lifetime at the Rocket Mortgage, 32nd, 12th, and 46th. And speaking of FedEx Cup standings, sits at 132.
Oh, yeah, narrative season. I'm shocked that he didn't have a pre-tournament presser as like being Rocket Mortgage zone.
And being this close to losing his card. And I say losing his card very lightly because I feel like with Ricky still at, I mean, it's not like he's 40 years old, you know. With Ricky, it's going to be like a Fleetwood situation last year.
Yeah.
Where he's still going to get into basically whatever he wants, and any sponsor is going to get him into these events. He's going to play all the shitty events and probably earn his way back through that, if I had to guess. Because, like, Fleetwood should have never played in as many events as he did.
Yeah, no. He's just...
He was all...
What Fleetwood did last year was just insane. Like, and what he still does, he makes so many cuts and just finishes like T60 in all of those events. I don't know how he like forgets how to play golf on the weekend. It's hilarious. But Ricky, yeah, Rocket Mortgage's own. What did he do here last year? I feel like he was like
T32, but
yeah, I feel like he was somewhat relevant. All right, T32, that's a solid finish. Just make a few more putts, Ricky, and you'll be in the mix. I don't hate that call at all. Fine with the ownership,
and it's a price thing. Like,
yeah, great price. 7-3.
Upper mid sevens. I mean, maybe second guessing it, but in the low sevens, like when I start, if I start Zalatoris young, I have 73.5 left.
Mm-hmm.
Puts you right there, and then you can do 74, 75, whatever the case may be. So
yeah,
I'm in on Rick.
All right, my final guy in this 7K range is 7-2 Wyndham Clark. Okay. You talk about a guy who is a driver putter build, and that's it. That's Wyndham Clark. By no means is this track demanding with your irons and wedges. It's kind of very straightforward, and that's what he needs to pop because he's objectively bad with his irons and wedges. So headed to a track that's pretty straightforward. I love Wyndham Clark. We know he's going to be hitting bombs. He's gained off the tee and significantly off the tee in 4 straight. Hasn't missed a cut since the U.S. Open. And he was – what was the event where he was – Canadian Open. He was there at, but he did that all with the putter. But he's a guy who can pop with the putter. He ranks 30th on putting this year on the PGA Tour. So it's going to rate out really well in this field. I love Wyndham Clark, just the bombing gouge his way, bracing his way around. One start here was a 17th place finish, gained 5 strokes on the green, lost 3 strokes on approach, which is like pretty expected. If he can be a 0-1 on approach, I think he can contend. I don't think he's got to do it all with approach. We know he can gain 3 to 4 off the tee, have a pop putting week. You don't have to do what Rory did at the Summit Club, do what Maverick McNeely does every single week. That's what I want to see from you, Wyndham Clark, at 7-2. And I bet him at 100-1.
It's a good number. I like that. Especially, like you said, the Canadian, what we saw.
He's been popping, recently.
Hanging out at the top of the leaderboard. There's a lot of names I can really throw out there that I like as well. Brendan Steele, all over him last week. And
he was there early. He was like 3 under on the front 9, then exploded.
Yeah. I mean, if there's not, like you said earlier in this show, there's not many places to really explode here. Yeah. So, I mean, he doesn't make birdies at a crazy high rate, but last couple months, first off the tee, second tee to green, third in overall proximity. Steele had those couple weeks off and came back miscut. Maybe he found something. The ownership's going to be low just because he missed that cut. So I'm still taking a hard look at Steele. Johnny Vegas, I don't mind.
I was close.
People were all over him for so long. And then he misses a couple cuts and has some finishes in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and then everyone hops off.
He's elite at these birdie fests. I couldn't get around his wedge numbers, and the putting has kind of died off over the last 3 months where it was, and especially where it was last season.
He's lost in every event since every event but one since the start of May. Yeah,
so that was kind of just an eye test. I didn't really even look at the numbers. I just realized his putter has been bad. It was much better at this point last year. But so I was close to Vegas. I did not get there. The last guy I had Patrick Rogers in my lineups. I took him out, just tightened up the pool. I bet him at 120-1. I just don't have him in my pool because of the ownership. I didn't love the ownership. I didn't love like a 9% guy this low. And then Adam Svensson is another one of the bombs I bet at 100-1. Chalk of the week last week. Everyone was all over him.
Same thing, yeah. These chalk guys that missed the cut last week, like,
yes,
sign me up. I might make one team with everyone that missed the cut last week.
Yeah, I do like that. And it was just Adam, like, he just had 2 bad days of golf. He lost 5 strokes ball striking, and that is the worst he's ever had on the PGA Tour. So he has got nowhere to go but up. We know what he is at the ball striking. And this is a course where you're going to have to fire at a million flags, and that's what Svensson does best. Fire at flags, make ton of birdies. There's no trouble around these greens if you do miss fire. Should be able to get up and down when you do. So I love Svensson in a bounce back spot. Everyone was all over him last week. I might want to add him to my player pool because I just have the bet on him. What is his ownership looking like? Nah, I'm gonna keep him out. He's like 13% owned, but that's like he was like 26 last week. So I don't want to do the 13% in DraftKings, but I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna pass for now. But I did bet him at 100-1.
I'm struggling to fill a team with that. Right now, I got Davis Riley, Steele, Svensson, Thigala, Tringale with 95 left, but no one else missed the cut up there.
Just put Goddard up in there because he made the cut on the number. Just leave
that doesn't count.
Yeah. So anyone else in the 7K range you want to hop down to the 6?
Gligic.
Again.
I will ride again. Paid off for both of us last week.
Yep.
He was in your core.
He was in that winning lineup that won that GPP.
Yeah. Outside of that, Kitayama, I gave a hard look to.
Him and Vegas were the 2 guys I gave super, super hard looks to.
They're just great prices.
Great prices and bombers who.
That's why you can pick your 2 guys out of the 10K and just live down here.
Yeah, there's some guys down here. I bet Kitayama 100-1 Monday morning on DraftKings. But I ended up not going with it. I just thought the number was going to get bet down because of the class of golfer. I feel like he's better than 100-1, better than this price. Which honestly, he is
today.
What is it?
When I looked, hang on. And I know he's been up there in his career. 66.
Yeah, like
66th ranked player in the world. Back-to-back made cuts with one being a solo second, and he's $7,200.
Yeah, I kind of regret 7,200, 8% owned. Yeah, that's fine. Man,
and it's exactly what he does, right?
What is Wyndham Clark's ownership? It's just the putter for me, but the putter for me, and he's so much better with his mid and long irons than he is wedges. He's like insane with his long irons. Give me Kitayama at the Farmers Insurance next year. Book that now. Kitayama Farmers Insurance Open winner next year. That's what I'm saying.
Switch out Kitayama for Clark.
Do it. Let me see what Clark's ownership is. Clark.
I'm seeing a 7 our site at Fantasy Points.
Yeah.
Also seeing a. Where is it?
I might just go 1-1. I would just go 1-1 because
all you have is 10%.
40. No, I have 40% Wyndham Clark. I can go 20% each. I might just do that.
Spread the wealth
because my player pool is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys.
You have to get to 12.
Last week it was 13, so yeah, I might as well get to 12. All right, I'll put Kitayama in there.
Love it. Love that. All right, 6K.
If you missed the cut. Our friendship is tough. I'm just kidding. I was kidding. No, I'm doing it because you got me off of Jason Day that 1 week, so I gotta follow you.
I did. I've actually made some decent changes. I gotta keep track of those next year as well.
Yes.
But 6K, not really on anybody towards the top. I like Taylor Moore.
I actually
I
hate Taylor Moore. That's funny. We should go.
really
Yeah, I should get a guy. You should get a guy. That should be our side bet too.
okay. I can do. I could
What's
do
his
that.
price? What's his price?
68.
Okay, I got a guy at 68 too. Unless you like him too, then you don't want to do that. It's
No,
Bo Hosler.
that's our side. That's our side bet. Hostler versus Taylor Moore.
Sweet.
That's fair. Are you on anyone of the upper sixes? You're on
Chesson Hadley, and Bo Hosler. I'm on Chesson Hadley. He is kind of having the best ball striking run of his career. We know he's an elite putter. He's also a fringe guy like Fowler, but he's coming off of a +3 ball striking, a 31st place finish at the Barracuda, but there's no strokes gained, +6 strokes ball striking at the John Deere Classic. And if he's doing that, he gained 6 strokes putting and 5 strokes putting in his last 4 weeks. So if he can do that with the ball striking that's kind of coming into form, we know it's just wedges. He's finished 10th here last year. Not 10th here last year. Never mind. That was the wrong tournament. He has a 52nd place finish last year. So he made the cut and he lost 2 strokes putting, gaining tee to green. So if the putt, we know his ball striking is heating up and we know what the putter is. So I went with Chesson Hadley at 6'9".
Okay. You're a big Hadley guy, though, aren't you?
No, I hate Hadley. I don't want to be a Chesson Hadley guy. I hate when he makes birdies and he snaps. It makes me real upset. And his Billy Jangles shirt. I'm definitely not a Chesson Hadley guy, but if he makes me money, I'll do it. No, it was just a 1 week. It was the Barbasol. I was like,
yes,
so Chesson Hadley, and he finished 45th.
Yeah, fine.
Fine, whatever.
My highest owned guy, 62, Bo Hoag.
Let's hear this.
Didn't make the top 125 last week, so he's playing out of the same category. Number 32, to be specific, as Tommy Fleetwood. That was 126 to 150 on prior season's FedEx Cup point list. Unfortunately, he's sitting at 211th. So he's not getting into the playoffs, regardless of what he does these next 2 weeks, unless he wins, obviously. But started to turn his game around at the John Deere Classic with a T16. 2 ceiling putter weeks were on bent grass, just like we'll see, or faster bent grass greens like we'll see this week. He was 32 at the Rocket Mortgage last year, led the field on approach, and over the last couple months, ranks 3rd in the field in par 5 scoring, which I am weighing very heavily. The par 5 scoring alone hopefully pushes Hoag through the cut line. Banking on that.
Okay, yeah, that's a
plus 470 for a top 40 on FanDuel.
Yeah. I didn't get that low. I only got down to 6.5 this week, and last week I got the Jared Wolf at 6K flat, and he was in the top. He was in the seven.
Early on, he was killing it.
He shot like 9 over on the front on Sunday, but he still was a very solid play at 6K flat. So I couldn't find anyone this week. I tried. I couldn't find anyone.
I had Skins, remember, top English.
Oh, yeah.
And if it wasn't for Taryn, he had a legit shot.
Damn.
He was top 10. Top 5 in approach last week.
David Skins?
David Skins.
Wow.
Hoagie, Hodges, Finau, Long, Skins. Your approach leaders. T54 did that good on approach.
So my next guys in this range, I'll list off my last 2, is Sepp Straka. I put out a video earlier saying Sepp Straka is kind of been really struggling since his win at the Honda. But if there's a get right spot, I think it's this spot. He's got an 8th place and 11th place finish here in back-to-back years. This is a course that's a driver putter, and it's what he is. He's kind of been struggling with his approach. So he's a bomber, bomb it down. He's back to a course where he's got good vibes at. He's got to figure it out eventually, I think. So I think this is a buy low spot on Sepp Straka, who was in the upper 7K range for a while after that win. So I'm going to buy Sepp Straka at 6.7, I think it is. And then my last guy is Brandon Hagee, Cam Champ, bomber, Cam Davis, that type of build. Brandon Hagee also has 2 solid finishes at this event. I think it's consecutive years, too, at 6.5. Brandon Hagee has finished 6th and 39th here, back-to-back years. So heading to a course that you have had success at, Brandon Hagee doesn't have a lot of opportunities to play well, so I'll take that at 6'5". And if there is a course that you want Brandon Hagee at, I feel like it's this course because just go bombs away. That's what he is.
Yeah. No hot Sloan Summer.
No hot Sloan Summer for me now, but I do like him. I just couldn't put him in my player pool. You saw my tweet. Obviously, Roger Sloan. Maybe it's coming. We're trying? It's kind of trending like we were last year. So if you got on Sloan, definitely shout me out if you're watching this and get on Sloan.
One guy who I am always on, usually it seems like Kevin Chappell. The price just isn't there for me. I can't get to 66.
Greenbrier comp.
What if I told you there was a guy at 6,400 who has T16 or better in his last 2 events?
Chris Nagel.
Michael Kim.
Wait, I thought he's not playing.
You're right.
Yep.
Sorry. I was just clicking guys low.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's playing KFT.
Good call. Good for him. He's gonna get a win. Outside of that,
he was in the field, and then he withdrew to play the KFT.
I'm not going any lower. Lexi Thompson's brother still down, sitting in the basement, 6K flat. You have any interest?
I have interest in Lexi if she was in the field, but not Curtis. Not the LSU Tiger, the best LSU Tiger.
His hang on. His Instagram title is something about like being a bomber, and he's not.
This is a false information.
But while I'm looking this up, I just wanted to say I was thinking it this week. For having 2 straight years of like Korn Ferry Tour and the top 25 that get their PGA Tour card, this is one of the worst groups of 25 I think I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really? I haven't even paid attention to it.
Not just the 25, but the 25 and then the guys who won the Korn Ferry Tour finals, like Brett Druitt.
Oh, you're talking about like this past season?
Quote unquote rookies.
Right,
Brett Druitt, Jared Wolf, David Skins, Scott Guthrie.
Well, there's the few that are like the headliners.
Yeah, there are. And there usually is a few, but like Jaeger was number 1 in the.
Yeah, there's some bad ones. I expected more from Grayson Sigg this year. We're starting to see it recently. We're starting to see it like the past
Dewey Vanderwalt.
Yeah, get him out of here.
I can't.
These guys are gonna lose. These guys are gonna lose their card, right?
Their card. Yes, they will.
Yeah. Right.
Josh Creel.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Josh Creel had some crazy, like, statistics that suited this course, I believe. Let me read them real quick.
I still have Justin Lauer as my fill-in for Bud Cauley in my season long.
Insanity. That is insanity.
I don't think Cauley's going to come back this year.
Josh Creel is like, for whatever reason, absolutely elite from 50 to 125 yards. If you want to get to Josh Creel, but I didn't. I was deep diving him on Monday morning. I remember that.
All right, ready for Curtis Thompson's Instagram handle?
Mm-hmm.
Bomb Squad _LSU.
I'm blocking Curtis Thompson. Curtis Thompson, if you're watching this, I'm blocking you on Instagram.
Bomb Squad, last couple months ranks 103 off the tee, 15th in distance.
Wow. Maybe he is a bomber.
Yeah, you can't block him now.
Yeah. No, I just can't deal with that Instagram. Just change your name to like Kurt T, something like that. I don't know.
All right.
That's crazy.
Let's wrap up. We'll do our top 3 total.
Okay. All right.
Your top 3 owned guys total. I'll start it off. Cam Young, number 1. Hang on. This is tough. Russell Henley's going to be my 2. And then Pender 3.
All right. Patrick Cantlay, 100% of my lineups. Book it. Patrick Cantlay, let's go. Number 2 owned guy is going to be Chesson Hadley at 6'9". I love him this week. And then I got a few guys at 60% owned. I will pick Davis Riley as my 3rd owned guy I think is going to be the best out of that 60% group I got. So I'll go PC, Hadley, then Davis Riley.
We're going to hit a winner this week.
Let's go. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I got to chase you now. Now after that Finau dub.
And side bet, Bo Hostler versus Taylor Moore. Must see TV.
must see TV. It's going to be all over PGA Tour Com's Twitter page.
Mm-hmm. They already tweeted it, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Good luck this week at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. We will see you next week.
Peace out.